And now for back carrying. Now when you're first starting the back carrying, you've never ever done it before, I would always recommend using a couch or a bed method to get started. And what you do is you take your carrier and you lay it out on a couch or on a bed. Now for beginning back carriers, I would not recommend starting before baby can sit up somewhat on their own. So 5-6 months, somewhere in there is a pretty safe starting point. Before that, baby can be a little bit too floppy for a beginner to be as careful as they necessarily need to be. If you really feel strongly about trying before baby is at an age where they can sit up, make sure that you have another adult with you to help just in case. Even though you're using the couch method, it's still very important to make sure that baby's not going to fall, especially when they're so tiny. So you get the carrier laid out, and you get your older child sitting on it just where you want him to be. And you want to have baby's legs spread wide, and you want to get the carrier flipped up in between them. So this is creating that shelf for when you tie it on. Baby will be sitting there just like this. Then you want to sit down. Get your clothes fixed as best as you can now. You want to sit down right in front of them and get that nice and snug on your waist. And do your square knot nice and tightly on your waist here. Now you want to reach your arm behind you. And one at a time, grab your straps and bring them over your shoulders. Make sure they're not twisting. You can get baby's arms out if they like arms out at this point. A real baby will do this for themselves. My little guy doesn't do so much. So now that I've got both of my straps, I lift baby up onto my back while I'm still sitting. I'm going to make sure that he's right where I want him to be. If you need to snuggle him down in there, you can do all of that at this point. And pull your hair out from your straps because that can hurt if it gets pulled. So now that you're ready with this, once you have these with 2 hands, you can continue tying while you're sitting if you want, or you can stand up and continue from here. There are several different ways that you can take care of your straps. Some people prefer to cross in front. A lot of dads really like this where they cross in front. Now for me or nursing moms, sometimes that's not quite so comfortable or it looks a little silly, and so they don't really want to do that. Now some narrow-shouldered mothers will feel the need to cross so that it keeps the carrier where they want it, but don't want any pressure being put on breasts. So what I've found to do is to cross it, but then right above the breasts you want to start twisting the carrier so that it's not putting any pressure on you, but you have all of the benefits of crossing. Now for me, because I'm an average to broad-shouldered person, I haven't found that that was necessary. So what I like to do is just bring the straps straight down underneath my shoulders, just like a backpack. I bring them around to baby's butt and I trade hands. Now I have enough strap length here that I can cross and bring back around to the front. If you find that you have just short straps at this point, you can just tie underneath baby's butt. There's nothing wrong with that. But since I have the strap length, I cross underneath baby's butt and bring back around to the front. Once again, you can go over the legs or under the legs, whatever you prefer. But whatever you do, you want to finish with a square knot. So I've got all of that done. Baby's in a nice, high, tight, very comfortable for me. Back carry, this is very, very handy for going hiking or for if baby's fussy and you really need to get those vegetables chopped to get that casserole in the oven. And we don't recommend doing any actual cooking with baby there, but the prep work isn't quite such a big deal. So as long as baby isn't grabbing at your knives, you can go ahead and do that sort of thing. But this is absolutely wonderful for taking a hike or a long walk or walking the dog. So this sort of carry is awesome. And when you're done, when you're first starting off, what you want to do is loosen it to the point where you've got both of these nice and snug. Then sit down and lower baby down onto a couch or a bed, some other surface like that. And then you get yourself untied. Now you never ever want to leave baby laying down on the carrier like this, even if they're sleeping, because if they roll over, the strap can become a strangulation hazard, so just don't do that. Now for the parents that are new to Mei Tai but have done back carrying before and are comfortable doing a back carry with a small baby, you want to do the same basic thing, but you want to have baby laying down. Smaller baby laying down, get their legs fixed the way that you want them. and get your carrier flipped up in between them, in between you. And you'll need to hold that in place while you sit in front of baby and tie it on. So you get that tied. Same basic thing, you want to get your straps over your shoulders and carefully lift baby up onto your back. Now with a small baby, they're a lot more likely to flop and to move at this point than an older child will. Most times the older kid will reach forward and grab onto your shoulders. So just use caution when you're working with a small baby. And once again, just cross underneath their bottom and bring her back around to the front and finish with the square knot. And then same basic idea for the small baby and getting down. Just untie, make sure that it's nice and tight, sit and lower baby down. Now once you're completely comfortable with the back carry method like that, you can move on to the hip scoot, which is a lot faster and it's easier, but I wouldn't recommend starting off this way at all. Just because for the person who's not real comfortable with this, they can be awkward. But once you're used to it and your baby's used to it, your baby will actually hold still and help you. So once baby is starting to hold still and help while you're doing the couch method, then, and if you're comfortable, then I would move on to this. And I'll show real slowly and then I'll move on to showing a little bit faster. But for a hip scoot, you want to hold baby with one arm and take your front arm and hold baby's back with the front arm. Now this arm is free. Reach up and around and grasp baby's back with your elbow and baby's leg with your thigh. Once you've got baby with this arm here, then you can move this arm, bring it back and around, grab onto baby's other thigh, and hop them over. Just a little scoot from the hip to the back. Show that again just a little bit faster. This is how fast it would actually go. And baby will move arms where you want, and at this point I always ask my son, where do you want your arms? And his weight is all being put on my back. He'll pull his arms up and around to my shoulders. I'm still holding baby's bottom and his thigh with my hand here. Then I take, with my other hand, take the carrier and I flip it up and around, and I grab onto baby's back at this point, so this hand is free and this hand is holding instead. And I grab my straps, one at a time. Once I've got this one, I'm pulling snug. I get this back and around. Now, this should be high on baby's back at this point. You always want to use a couch or a mirror of some kind to check this. If you're standing at your car, just look in your car window. That should be a pretty good guess there. And you'll be able to tell at this point if it's right or not. Now once you've got both of these in one hand, you can, one at a time, bring the straps from your armpits up and around to the top. Now once they're up here, you can bounce baby in as you need to. And then just finish up with your normal tying method. And then to get baby down, after you've done your double knot there, to get baby down, just untie. Go again, holding this nice and snug for baby. I like to lower baby down so that I can easily grab with this arm. So I'm already holding him with this, and then as I switch, this hand is there instead. Now I lean baby's weight off to one side and kick the one leg down, and then I let him down and he goes and he does his thing. Or I get him in the car seat or whatever it is. So that is the basic idea for the Mei Tai for front, hip, and back carrying. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the website, and I'll try to help you as best as I can. But other than that, just hope you have a great day. Bye.